Yo, B1 FBA, let's giddy up. Let's get it. A couple of different things I want to talk about. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but because I haven't seen anyone else speaking on these things, I'm going to go ahead and chop it up with the family about this, man. One of the topics we're going to get into is Haiti is making a move for reparations, which is cool. I'm with it. I think I speak for all FBAs when I say that we wish you well, Haiti. We hope that you get your paper, get what's yours. Make the French pay, make France pay for what they did. That's a good thing. So unlike a lot of these tethers, we're not going to be trying to get up in your business telling you that you don't deserve what's yours. But we'll get into that story in a minute. And then I wanted to show you guys a story of Tariq Nasheed and FBA being attacked by some mystery publication that just popped up out of nowhere. It's weird. I have a feeling who's behind it, but we'll get into that story as well just to put some context in it. But before we even start that, make sure you guys like all that good stuff, comment, holler at your boy. But before I even get into the main topics, on Twitter, I don't even subscribe to dude, but I seen Tommy Sotomayor. Rarely do I agree with this Negro. This is the most hatingest, cooninest, shuck buck dancing Negro that we've ever seen. But once in a while, even a broken clock is right twice a day, right? And listen, I'm not doing this one to try to, let me show you what I'm talking about. And this is trying to throw any kind of shade on this sister. Let me get to the thing real quick. This is not to throw any shade to the good sister, Angel Reese. All right. But as FBA, you know our job is to keep it a buck. Our job is to be the guardians of our culture and of our good name. And I do agree with this one, man. This is not a good look, sis. Come on, you're a beautiful sis. I get it. You're grown. You want to get sexy. It's all good, but come on now. You have put yourself in the realm of being a representative for our people. And as such, you know, I don't like to see, like I say, you're grown, you do what you do. I'm not judging, but I don't like to see people that represent us to some degree, especially because of the way the Caitlin Clark / her, battle went. I don't want to see you put in a position where people will be able to shit on you. And I definitely don't want to see any type of behavior that could be seen as below the belt being used as a representation to us or our culture. So I'd rather we get in front of those type of issues, let our people know where we're at with this. I can't judge this good sis. She's a good basketball player. She's going to get her money. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really see the necessity for little stunts like this. You're going to get your money in the WNBA, not a lot, but you're going to get your endorsements. You're going to get your commercials. You're going to get your different little deals that's going to make you money. This ain't a good look. To me, it's not a good look.
Let me see.
I guess what this is, if you don't know, is she got her coochie like. Let me see what the real term is.
Oh my god.
She got a mold of her cooch. I mean, it's hilarious in a way, but it's like, come on, sis, you didn't have to do that. Come on, be the classy, sexy, beautiful basketball hooping. You know what I'm saying? Talk that black shit. Be that right now. But I guess if you are going to do this, you might as well do it while you're young. So we just chop it up to the game. Ain't no big thing. Let's get to the real issue, the real story I wanted to talk about. And that's this Haitian. No, so like I said before, so now Haiti is seeking reparations. And I can only guess and assume that there's been some type of inspiration that we, as our FBA brothers and sisters, us as new black media, has given them some type of inspiration, to make this kind of move. And that's good. We ain't mad at it at all. Matter of fact, it's a good thing. When I see Africa and Caribbean stepping up, the man and what's theirs fighting against the oppression and the colonial powers, I love it. We love it. That's why we took so much inspiration from the Haitian Revolution. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real about it. We root. It's all this divisive that they try to throw on it. Like this next story I'm going to show you, all this division that they try to make it seem like it's us. That is not the case. We was rocking with these brothers and sisters from the diaspora for 100 years, at least. We was on the Pan-African tip since at least 1924. Marcus Garvey was doing his thing in 1924. Am I wrong? So if he was doing his thing in 1924, we've been on the Pan-African tip for at least 100 years with very little help, with very little recognition, with very little participation and cooperation. Maybe a decade or two, 60s and 70s, they was kind of jumping on it in Africa a little bit, in Jamaica a little bit. But other than that, they ain't really been fucking with it. So we root when we see them fighting because that's within our spirit. That's why there's a clash, because a lot of these cats that come here from the Caribbean, that come here from Africa, they're not of our cloth. I don't just say that from a lineage perspective. I say that from a spiritual perspective. They don't have that spirit of fighting for what's theirs. They come over here and they join the ops against us. That's where the tension is. And ain't nobody going to shame me into trying to buddy up and kumbaya with niggas who ain't cut from the same cloth of fighting against oppression. If you ain't with that, if you came here to join forces with the ops, you're not even my people at that point. That's the codification that we have to be on, that we have been on, and what they're not liking. But I salute Haiti for standing up for the reparations from France. They should be doing that. They should have been did that. In fact, if we're going to keep it a buck, they would have never had to do that if they didn't fumble the bag once they got their independence. Let's keep it a buck. They fumbled the bag when they got their independence. They're the ones that kicked out their riders. Let me get into the story, man. I'll fill in some of those details for those who don't know in a minute. But even at the summary, it even alludes to that. Haiti had to pay reparations after independence. That's just part of the summary. We'll get to that in a minute, though. So France should repay billions of dollars in reparations to Haiti to cover a debt formerly enslaved people were forced to pay in return for recognizing the island's independence, a coalition of civil society groups said on Thursday. Okay, I guess we got to get into it now because that's the very first sentence right there, right? So what they're referring to. So we know that, you know, the Haitian Revolution commenced 1804. Haiti got their independence from France. At the time, Napoleon was the president of France. So when they got their independence, here's some of the mistakes they made. Even though they codified themselves before they went to war, everybody knows about the ceremony. They got back into the spiritual, you know what I'm saying, traditions. They let the white gods go. They did this in a ceremony before they kicked it off. I love that. That's perfect. They codified themselves. They got the weak niggas out the game. They threw away the enslavers' gods and they embraced their own ancestors. Salute to that. Then they did what they did. They handled their business. Now they're independent. With that fight for independence, that means they had to defeat France directly, heads up, who was also helped by Spain, who was also helped by England, and even the U.S., even if they didn't send troops, kind of like NATO does now when they take out people. So they did that. They put in work and got busy with the four most powerful nations on the planet at the time, militaristically and economically. The problem was, as you might expect for a new country that was formerly slaves, they're not going to have the political maneuvering and maturity. First mistake. Toussaint Louverture went to France to try to hash out the peace deal with Napoleon. Toussaint Louverture, I believe, was a mulatto. He was educated, as most revolutionaries were. Like if you really look at the history of a lot of these revolutions, even here, rebellions here in the United States, it usually came from educated people. But he thought of himself kind of as a Frenchman. He kind of thought that he, was going to be respected. He thought that he would be able to go to France and chop it up with Napoleon to hash out the peace deal. This is after they've already got their independence, by the way. So you really don't have shit to say to me at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, the energy should have really been like, yo, we just whooped your ass, man. Don't start no more. There won't be no more. You stay over there. If you want to do business, we'll do business on a fair trade basis. But instead, he wanted to go over there. What Napoleon did, because he was a racist, and he just lost 80% of his wealth, because that's how much money Haiti was generating for the French Empire. 80% of the economic wealth came from Haiti, which means that Haiti really should be the most wealthiest nation in the Western Hemisphere right now. We'll get to that in a minute, though. So Napoleon basically threw him in a dungeon, starved him, and froze him to death. He's out of there. Jean-Jacques Dessalines now being the leader. He was a rider, a real one. Unfortunately, some of the what we would now call tether class, the mulatto class and weak niggas, ended up turning on him and the real riders and killed him. Yes, the same cloth of niggas that come over here trying to undermine us in our fight, that's what they did over there after the revolution was complete. They turned on the niggas who led the revolution and got them their independence, murdered them, doubled back to France and made an agreement and agreed to pay France reparations since they lost their money. That's exactly what happened. So they made a deal that we're going to pay you back, France. We're sorry that we have to be free and you can no longer control our bodies or our economy. We're sorry. We'll pay you. They just paid that back like in 1950. So, but that's not all they did. So after they made that deal, what France did, let me take it down a little bit. Hold on. Let me take it down. So what France did, on top of demanding that they get paid back reparations, right, is they basically got on the horn with all the other European countries like, hey, don't do any business with Haiti. Anything that they produce, any products they produce that they could ship globally for fair trade, don't do any business with them. Sanctions, basically. But then they took it a step further and they sent ships to block the ports so they couldn't send anything to any other countries that would do business with them. So now the sugar and the other things that Haiti produced wasn't able to be shipped and they weren't able to do business. Plus they made the agreement to give France money. So basically what happened is they put themselves in a perpetual state of poverty because the house niggas took over and made these secessions on that weak sauce. That's why Haiti is poor right now, when it really should be the wealthiest nation in the Western Hemisphere by far. Meaning that they should have a military that's crisp and second to none. They should have infrastructure. They should have it popping in Haiti right now. That should be the littlest, richest nation, maybe even in the world. But they fumbled that. So the fact that they even need reparations is only because of their own mishaps and fumbling of the bag after they got their independence. Now, I don't say that to disrespect it. I'm just saying that's just what it really is. That in itself is why when they come over here undermining us, talking that shit, being used against us, that's why it's that much more disrespectful. That's why I'm really not trying to hear none of the bullshit they're saying, because they come over here and try to do us the same way they did the same ones who gave them independence. But let's get into this thing real quick. Nevertheless, even with that said and done, I would never wish them not to get the reparations that they're fighting for. And if we inspired that, then cool, run with that. But I would never get into a Haitian reparations space on Twitter or go to Haiti and start talking against what they're trying to do to get their money from France. I would never go to Haiti and be like, oh no, leave the French alone, nigga. No, you enjoy your mud hut and flies. Why you complaining? Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I would never do that. And then try to get some type of welfare system for me to take from them. Let's keep it a buck. So the Caribbean island became the first in the region to win independence in 1804 after a revolt by enslaved people. But the move that many Haitians blamed for 2 centuries of turmoil, France later imposed harsh reparations for lost income, and that debt was only fully repaid in 1947. So that they should have never, ever agreed to that deal. Jean-Jacques Dessalines would have not agreed to that deal. But they murdered him and got him out the way because for whatever reason. They didn't like his rulership. They would rather have been ruled, obviously, by France than one of their own. So they got him out of there. They sabotaged the same ones who gave them their freedom. So why wouldn't they sabotage us? And they could only come here because of our political endeavors, thinking that we were going to get more reinforcements. See, the idea of Pan-Africanism is great because the idea is, hey, we have a larger majority. We're a billion plus strong, maybe 2 billion strong globally. If we were on the same page, this world is ours. That's what we understood here. You wouldn't see FBA as a majority. You wouldn't see us as 95% of the population, and any police would ever try to roll up to mistreat a nigga. That would never happen. If we was 95% of the United States population, do you think these white folks would have a peep to say against the FBA? You think that they'd be running the economy, the military, the laws? They would be sitting the fuck down somewhere, staying in their places. What the fuck they would be doing? They would not be slapping niggas around like they be doing in some of these Nigerian countries and shit. They wouldn't be doing that. So the idea is we're the global population. So of course we wanted to see our brothers come over here from the Caribbean and from the continent, because we're thinking you're going to get on our side. Now we got more political power. We got more of a voice. We got more solidarity. We got more economics, business we could do with each other. But they came over here to join sides with the white supremacists. Let's keep it a buck. That's where the division was caused. It wasn't us. If we were divisive, we would have never fought for them to come here because nobody else wanted them here. The white folks did not want black immigrants to be able to come here in the first place because they understood how that could balance out the opposition, balance the scales of justice on our favor. They understood that. They seen how we get busy as a straight up minority. No way they wanted to see people from African countries and Caribbean countries come here. And that's why the ones that come over here are carefully selected to not be rebel rousers, so to speak. So anyway, check this out. A group of around 20 non-governmental organizations currently in Geneva for a UN permanent forum on people of African descent. So the PFPAD, you got to get some better marketing than that, are seeking a new independent commission to oversee the restitution of the debt, which they refer to as a ransom. But let's just be real. You can call it a ransom, sure, but just be real. There's no reason why you should ever even have to have reparations in the first place from France. You got your independence. You got your independence over 200 years ago. You're the majority of Haiti. You run that shit. But you got the real ones out the way and let the fake niggas take over. And then you made deals with the fucking devil. Why would you make a deal? Why would you go through the task of going to fucking war, winning your independence, and then succeeding your wealth to the people you just defeated? Now we don't need to take no political strategies. We don't need to hear none of that loser babbleism that they be doing. We don't need to hear none of that. Then they allow themselves to be used against us. Like I said, hey, salute to y'all. Get your shit right. Get on code over there. But we don't need the tether class saying shit to us. They should not even need these reparations, just to be real. So they say the money should go to public works. So here's where the fuckery comes. In Haiti, where a transition council was installed this month in an effort to restore security after a period of devastating violence by armed groups. So what they're saying there is, we know that little revolution kicked off not too long ago. First of all, we know that the president was killed. Some people say it was Western powers that made that happen, whatever. So they went into chaos, blah, blah, blah. Now they have a transitional government coming in, which possibly could be installed by Western powers, France, US, etc. I don't know. But they're saying the money should go to public works. That sounds like a trick bag to me. That doesn't sound like money to the people. So if this is a grassroots organization that is leading this, y'all need to take a few more tips from FBA and how we, our verbiage and what we've been demanding, and make sure y'all get money for each individual Haitian. Make sure you don't allow Western powers to install puppets. You got to be able to stand up with that backbone. You already went to war once and won. You should not be able to be put in this position. Let's keep it a buck. If we were 95% of the United States, they would never be able to run none of this bullshit. All the fighting we've been doing has been by being 13%, so they say. Anyway, I don't want to get into all that. All right, so let me see here. So the amount paid to France is disputed by historians, although New York Times estimated Haiti's losses at 21 billion, The proposal backers say the amount is much higher. So they're saying it was 21 billion. It probably was higher. But then when interest and how long that has been, whatever, 200 billion, I guess it's a small country, but even 200 billion doesn't seem like a lot. It don't seem like a lot. And I hope the best. I hope the best for this situation for Haiti. I do not like seeing black people suffer. I really don't. But we will serve that same energy when you come popping at us. We're gonna let you know what it really is. Like I said, Pan-Africanism is a good idea. It's a good ideal. It's a good goal. I wouldn't even say to abandon it. I just understand that for Pan-Africanism to really work, you have to start with black nationalism. That's what foundational black American is. It's a lineage, but black nationalism means that we understand that we have to control our own destiny here. Haiti has to control their own destiny there. Nigeria has to actually control their own destiny and not still be puppets of England. For instance, wearing those blonde wigs that they wear in their parliament. Like shit like that is why it's like why we can't really feel you like that. Let's keep it a buck. Let's get to this over here. Let's get it. Hold up. I'm gonna wrap this up, but here's the second story. Something else I seen on Twitter. Some publication called the Texas Mail, which I've never heard of. Lived in Houston for 2 years, never heard of the Texas Mail before. Did a little bit of research. It seems kind of whatever. Tariq Nasheed faces criticism promoting Africa diaspora violence in the black community for reparations. Now, violence for real? Okay. I could have swore I seen like headlines of different people from the diaspora literally harming Black America. I could have swore a couple years ago in Seattle, my birth city, there was some Ethiopian cat that ran around and was shooting niggas right next to a place where I frequent 3 times a week. And when he was caught, he actually said literally the reason he did is because he hates Black people. But understand something. When they go against a Tariq Nasheed or any of our notables, it's not just an attack against him or them. It's an attack against us. It's a proxy attack against us. O.J. Simpson, proxy attack against us. We understood that. Bill Cosby, Minister Farrakhan, when they attack one of our celebrities or notables, especially somebody who has been holding it down, who's been representing properly, that's their way of also attacking us and trying to neutralize us. So when they're saying this, they're really saying FBA is divisive and trying to be violent. Maybe we need to classify, FBA is not a group, but maybe we need to look at them as in a perspective of being hate crimes. So in the realm of racial discourse or race discourse, Tariq Nasheed stands as a polarized figure known for his controversial commentary and advocacy for the group he founded, Foundational Black Americans. Like everybody knows that is just a lineage. This has been stated several times, but they continue to pretend that they don't get it. Whoever they is, we'll get to that in a minute. Nasheed's ideologies and rhetoric has sparked debate, shedding light on the intricate dynamic between advocacy, extremism, and division within the Black community. First of all, most of these Caribbeans and Africans, they don't see themselves as Black a lot of the times. They really don't. So the division in the Black community is them not wanting to associate or affiliate with us in so many cases. And I hate to say it, it's not really the minority. Like a lot of people think it's like, oh no, you're just sensationalizing what's on social media, but that's not really the truth. I've had plenty of situations at work, socializing, where I've seen the ways that they look at us and act towards us. We have seen the mainstream media purposely use tethers. Not every immigrant's a tether. But where they've used these tethers against us, they've been doing it for generations now. They've been doing it for decades. The Roland Martins, the Mark Lamoiste Hills, the Candace Owens, the list goes on. The Coleman, Cruz, Hughes, whatever, who they used to talk down against reparations in the Senate years ago. Tethers. They use them to undermine and sabotage us. That's where the division is. Us recognizing it and delineating and say, okay, we're going to do our thing as Foundational Black American or ADOS or whatever you want to call it. We're going to do our thing and we're going to strategize and huddle up. That's not being divisive. That's being intelligent. In a chilling online video testimony, the founder of the pseudo online group, Tariq Nasheed, has been captured advocating for harm against Black people in the name of reparations. The founder's words, which reflects a disturbing mindset of aggression and discord, serve as a stark reminder of the dangers posted by extremist ideologies within seemingly noble movements. This is cap. First of all. Second of all, we're going to be real. Tariq Nasheed is not a politician. What standards do you think you're going to be holding us to as if we, are creating some type of mechanism of hate or aggression against people? That's not the case. What we're doing is we're fighting back against those who's already on that time. You don't see us going into different spaces, whether they're physical spaces or online spaces, where we're trying to sabotage what they're doing or undermine them or disrespect them. We don't do that. They fled to where we're at to do that. That's literally an attack intellectually, politically. That's literally an attack. We don't go to them. How many times have y'all been out there searching for Twitter spaces of Haitians talking so you can get in there and start talking shit to them? How many times do you search on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube to look for something that other people other than us are doing so you can try to add to the conversation in a negative way? Do we do that? Do we create platforms where the whole point of our platform is just to make them look a certain kind of way? Do we do that? Because the grill does that against us. The Root does that against us. World Star Hip Hop does that against us. And dozens more publications that are well known or platforms that their whole object and aim is to make us look a certain kind of way or to talk greasy about us or to try to throw in LGBT at us exist. We don't do that. We're just saying, hey, we're peeping game now. And we're just saying, nope, we're going to make a difference that's not us. We're going to do us over here. All that other shit ain't us. We're not going to allow you to make us look a certain kind of way. We're not going to allow you to knock us off of our course with your bullshit. We don't go out to disturb things that they're trying to do to better themselves or their group of people. We don't do that. So one of the lines uttered by Tariq Nasheed that stands out for its promotion of violence is, we've warned folks, hey man, you better come and get them before we get them. Quote. Let's just see, man. Let's see if this sounds like he's asking for violence. Let's just see. Because I have a feeling, based on who tweeted this out. Let's get to this real quick. Based on who tweeted this out, who's like a nobody. Nobody's heard of this dude. 1,300 followers and shit. Okay, whatever. Like, but when you look at some of the people who he tagged in this lets me know who I think this shit might have really came from. A lot of these people who he tagged in here, here's one. She's commented on my videos before in support of Taharka Bey. Here is one of Taharka Bey's burner Twitter pages. I'm pretty sure this is him. Like, why would a serious publication be trying to affiliate themselves with them? Why would they have the same talking points as a Taharka Bey or some of these other haters that not just hate Tariq Nasheed? Let's not get it twisted. That means they're against the best interest for FBA. He just represents FBA to them. Because these same people who attack even a Tariq Nasheed or anybody in the new black media, it's not like they're attacking them because they don't agree. There's nothing wrong with criticizing. We should all be critical of anyone who puts themselves in front of us with ideas and plans and are making moves. We should always, there's always room for criticism. But what these cats do is they just criticize. They never have a plan that they want to put in action that they think would be more beneficial to us. So that means that their whole objective is only to sabotage and to tear down, to neutralize. This is counterintelligence program. This is counterintelligence right here. This is what I've been telling you. This is counterintelligence. The same goals, if you've ever read the counterintelligence files, is how they operate to the T. This is why I say whether they're really actual government agents or not doesn't even matter at this point, because the effect is still the same. They're operating as if they're reading the counterintelligence program files and saying, okay, goal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, this is exactly what we're going to do. That's what they're doing, regardless if they get a check from the government or not. It don't even matter at this point. So when they're attacking those of us who stand on our square, when they never ever have anything to say against white supremacy, Like some of these groups that attack new black media, you'll never see them talking about anything that has to do with bettering us as a people. You'll never see them critique or condemn police officers that shoot unarmed black people. You don't see them do that. They often take the side of the race soldiers, or they find a way to blame us for what happened. They do that all the time. They never have any solutions to the things that they want to critique. All they're trying to do is dissipate our energy and throw shade to it on us. They're basically doing what the Fox News ain't doing. They're basically the first line of defense for white supremacy. That's what I'm saying. It's not like they're really just attacking one person. They're attacking us all. That person is just a proxy. Because at the end of the day, what they want to say is that all FBA are anti-immigrant and we're seeking some type of violent retribution against them. We ain't got no time to be worried about physically engaging with these cats, man. But let's see what they say. Let's see what they got. Let's see what this clip of Tariq Nasheed is saying that sounds so violent. I need to hear this.
Let's be clear. We got a lot. I've had a lot of non-FBA brothers and sisters hit me up. Hey, man, we want to come to the rally for reparations. We're going to support. We're 100% down. And I love that.
Okay, so it's starting off with him saying that he loves that. See, people, they try to act like they don't understand what we mean when we say tether. They make it seem like when we say tether, we're talking about every immigrant, any black immigrant or any immigrant that comes here, we're calling them tether. That's not the case. We're only calling tethers the ones who are purposely detrimental to what we're doing or who we are. Only ones that are purposely being used, not even accidentally, but purposefully being used against us by white supremacists, or because they identify with white supremacy more than they identify with us. Those are the tethers. Not just because you immigrated from a different country makes you a tether. No, we're saying the ones that purposely come against us, yet benefit from being close to us. That's who we're calling tethers.
And that being the case, that's fine. But we do have a tether problem. We do have some people who are from the diaspora who come over here and they ain't riders like you guys, unfortunately. And unfortunately, you guys haven't been able to neutralize that threat for us because we've said, hey, man, why don't y'all get your folks, man?
So in other words, just like we call out our own, if they're against us, if we detect that they are on some fuckery, that they're being used against us, that they're disrespecting us or undermining us or sabotaging us, we call them out. We let it be known that they don't represent us. They work for the ops. We let that be known. So what we're saying is we know that every person that comes from Nigeria or Ghana or Haiti or Jamaica or wherever, we know not all of them are against us like that. But we're saying what Tupac was saying to Biggie. I'm not saying you set me up. I'm saying you can find out who did set me up and let me know. We're saying, hey, neutralize them cats over there. We don't want to have to handle that. They're representing you right now as they attack us. If you're really with us, you need to go handle that. That's an internal family affair. Handle that. We're extended family. Handle that before I have to slap my own cousin up. Please. And y'all ain't doing that. Y'all ain't letting us know like, hey, these cats are sabotaging. You're not going on platforms speaking truth to power against their bullshit and neutralizing that. Because we handle our internal business. Somebody get online, we're calling them out.
they talking kind of reckless. And unfortunately, y'all have not been able to do anything to them. And we've warned folks, hey man, you better get them before we get them. Able to do anything to them. And we've warned folks, hey man, you better get them before we get them.
So I'm just showing you that because when we go back to this right here, wait, was that even showing? No, my bad. Let's go back to this. Because they're making it seem like that quote was some type of violence, but clearly the context he was speaking of was verbally checking those who are speaking reckless. It wasn't go out there and attack. It wasn't implying none of that. So this is what we call counterintelligence. I ain't going to read the whole story. When you see these different little publications just pop up, no connecting stories, no nothing like that. Let's just see what there's. Let's just look at their shit a little bit. Let's just investigate their page. So about us, they share recent updates and information about trending news. It's the online news portal to discuss important happenings in an unbiased manner. Did that seem unbiased to you? Facebook, Twitter. Like this is like a quickly put together type of hit piece central for attacking FBA at this point. And I would think Tariq and his group of haters and detractors, some of these cats that are known for coming against FBA specifically, I would expect that they're behind this in some kind of way. Whether they paid for that article to run, whether they wrote it and sent it into them, whether they funded this little Texas Mail website or whatever, I would think that has something to do with that. Because they don't really seem like they're serious to me. They don't seem like a serious publication. Like they barely have any stories and shit. Look at this. It's just weird that a quote unquote wannabe mainstream would be attacking. But remember, this is how it goes. Let me tell y'all something real quick as I end this. This is how it goes at the end of the day. There's 4 stages that typically happen when something new is emerging, when something is emerging that is quote unquote revolutionary to the status quo. This doesn't just pertain to this situation. We say the same thing in Bitcoin. This is a long term, right? 4 different stages. The first stage, they ignore you. So New Black Media was ignored for a long time. They try to act like New Black Media didn't exist, even though Jason Black was getting thousands of people in his live streams, more than a lot of these network channels. Even though Professor Black Truth been doing his thing and many others. And collectively, we've been able to make some noise and get things shaking and moving on the streets, justice wise. Because remember, it was New Black Media. There's the reason why all these police started getting popped lately and actually catching cases like never before is because we have been on code and New Black Media has been influential on the grassroots street level. So the first stage is they ignore it. They act like it don't exist. Look the other way. Then the second stage is they mock it. They make fun of, they take shots, they try to undermine, they try to, devalue in certain degree. Then the third stage, which we're at right now, is they fight us. That's what hit pieces like this are. This is why we get trolled so much. This is why so many people come against us openly. Now, this is why they will acknowledge our existence even on mainstream now. This is why they will use our verbiage because they can't ignore it now. So now they're just fighting it. Then the next stage is we win. I'm out. B1, y'all. Peace.